ट्रेन की चपेट में आ गए।
वहाँ पर रेलवे का फाटक भी था, वो फाटक बंद था उस वक्त?
हाँ, ये फाटक पे नहीं हुआ है, फाटक तो बंद था, रोड ट्रैफिक के लिए फाटक बंद था, लेकिन फाटक के ये दुर्घटना फाटक पे नहीं हुई है। लोग जो ट्रेन की पटरी के बगल में से कुछ दूरी पे जो कार्यक्रम चल रहा था, उससे लोग पटरी पे आ गए, जिस वजह से जो ट्रेन गुजर रही थी वो उसकी चपेट में आ गए हैं।
हाँ, एक इंग्लिश में प्लीज
जी।
That was a soundbite.
Ma'am, a big accident is there in Punjab. What's the update?
It's a very unfortunate accident. It happened near Gate 27 between Amritsar and Manawala. Dussehra celebrations and Ravana and the burning of the effigies of Ravana, that celebration which happens annually, was happening near the railway track, and some of the participants of the function moved on to the railway track as per the initial information which is being received at our end, and very unfortunately they were on the track, and the train, our DMU train, passed by, due to which this very unfortunate accident happened. Railway is right now working on relief and rescue measures. Accident medical relief train has reached the site. Minister of State for Railways and Chairman Railway Board are also reaching the accident site. We do not have any confirmation of the numbers of the people who have been impacted by this accident so far with us, but it is a very unfortunate accident.
That was Smita Vats, the ADGPR of Indian Railways, speaking to ANI, talking about what happened, and you'll see in this visual what happened. The Ravana effigy was being burnt, people backed away from it, they backed onto the tracks, as you can see from one of these videos, and a lot of phones were on, a lot of phones were recording, so it's likely that more of these disturbing visuals will emerge later this evening. This is what we are looking at right now. A terrible, terrible event. We understand that the police have confirmed 50 deaths and several others injured. We don't have a fix on how many injured as of now. That number again we are likely to expect, we expect it to go up through the course of the night. People are being evacuated from that location and being moved to hospital. But the large crowd that had gathered for the celebration is still there from what we understand. They haven't moved. They're very angry. They're very angry at the government and at the administration. The Chief Minister is likely to leave. He's in Chandigarh. He's likely to leave for Amritsar tomorrow morning. He doesn't seem like he's going to be rushing anytime soon, and that is again something that that people are going to be fairly unhappy with. Vinay?
Yes, extremely unhappy. I mean, there's no question of it that Amritsar to Chandigarh is by road 3.5 hours for a Chief Minister's cavalcade, and ordinary traffic would take about 4 hours. But somebody like a Chief Minister of the state would take 3.5 hours to travel, and
yes.
And it's a tragedy of such magnitude that there is no reason why the concept of rushing to the spot should actually not be rushed. I mean,
yes.
The next morning is a very planned thing.
And especially because the first responses that came out of the Chief Minister's office told us that he was rushing. And then we discover he's not rushing. He's actually going to stay the night in Chandigarh and actually leave tomorrow morning for Amritsar. And I still don't understand why. But here's the response that we got from the Chief Minister. He put out this statement about 10 minutes ago.
Today's incident in Amritsar has been absolutely tragic. I'm tomorrow morning going to Amritsar to meet with those families who have been who suffered tragedies, both in deaths and in injuries. As far as the state is concerned, they are on full alert. Everybody has been shifted into Amritsar of our administration who are required, and all the injured are being taken to hospitals wherever they may be, and private or government, and the government is going to bear the full cost of this. In the meantime, we should also order an inquiry as to why this incident has taken place, why I am at the moment not aware of the reasons for this the Ravana being built next to the railway station, but the administration should have had a look at it, and we will check when I go there tomorrow and see what has happened. But it's been a tragic incident for Punjab. How many have died so far? We are hearing conflicting reports, but injured are many, and they are being taken to our hospitals. So our prayers and thoughts are today with those families who have lost their kin, or those who have been injured and are in hospital.
Piyush Goyal, the Railways Minister, says he's shocked and deeply saddened by the tragic train accident that's occurred in Amritsar. Heartfelt condolences to the family of the victims. He prays that the injured recover quickly. He says the Railways is conducting immediate relief and rescue operations. A lot of these tweets are similar.
Yeah, and they're pretty routine. I mean, that's how I think most initial responses come, and which really, I mean, they're ritualistic in many ways. Tweet responses have become very ritualistic. I think the larger point being the manner in which the rescue relief is being done. We are not hearing enough from the Punjab government on the rescue and relief operations that are currently on. We are not even hearing an estimate of how many people are actually injured and dead. I mean, it's been a while now, more than a couple of hours since this thing happened.
Listen to this message coming in from Rajnath Singh. I've spoken with the Home Secretary Punjab and the DGP of the state regarding the train accident. They're rushing to the spot. The centre is ready to provide all possible assistance to the state in the hour of grief. There is a message here that he spoke with the Secretary of Punjab, the Home Secretary and the DGP, and not the Chief Minister.
Yes, I mean, that's also a little unusual because usually the chief ministers are spoken to by the Home Ministry because they are the nodal, the coordination should happen via them. I'm assuming that they may have spoken and he hasn't put that in the tweet. I would hope that's the case and that this is not really about the politics, it's more about ensuring that the relief reaches the people. So I'm just hoping that it's just something that wasn't there in the tweet and it was already done.
But I also want to show you this visual. If we made 2-3 people to a bed in the hospital. So obviously hospitals are running out of space as well, and Amritsar being the size of the city it is, I don't expect that they would be ready with this kind of emergency relief for any hospital, because if this what we're looking at right now, visuals coming in from the hospitals are obviously crowded, and there seems to be family members who are crowding the hospital as well.
That one, and because of the festival season, sometimes hospitals have some staff which is on leave. This is not the peak staffing time for a hospital, and in fact hospitals have a different routine where they actually peak their staffing during Diwali, because that's when the large number of burn patients are expected. But during Dussehra and Durga Puja and Navratras, the staffing is actually a little less. So obviously it's an all hands on deck situation, and as you're rightly saying, they've run out of space because the visuals are very clearly looks like the hospitals are overcrowded. I mean, as I said, I mean, we're not hearing enough of what is required.
We're not hearing enough of what is required, and it's now reaching a point of frustration. So I'm not surprised people are getting angry on the ground. Look at the visual, just from this visual, and we're looking at it, firsthand. I don't see a doctor. I don't see a nurse. I don't see a blood transfusion or anything.
I haven't seen from the Punjab government an announcement of helplines, for instance, by now, where people could call up and contact and find out more.
If their loved ones are okay.
We haven't heard that officially from someone. We haven't heard a single point of communication contact, because right now in major tragedies, the biggest casualty in India is communication. People run helter-skelter because they don't know what to do, and nobody's there to even tell them. And the scenes that we are seeing on screen right now are as giving an impression of chaos that seems to be there.
Yes, and this whole business of this, wherever this hospital is, we've received the information, but we don't have the actual name of the hospital. We don't see a single doctor in these visuals. We don't see nurses. We don't see anybody helping except bystanders and family members, and that's going to add.
अभी रावण को जला के घर वापस ही गई थी मैं कि तभी पता चला कि पीछे से हड़दम मची और ट्रेन फुल स्पीड पे आई और कोई कह रहा था फाटक है, कोई कह रहा था कितने बंदे हैं, कितने वो हैं। तो फिर कमिश्नर साहब को फ़ोन किया, मैं वापस आऊँ, कहते नहीं पथराव आ गया। तो मुझे लगा कि जो बच्चे बचा सकते हैं उनको अस्पताल में रह के एटलीस्ट उनको पूरी फर्स्ट एड दे सकें, उनको ये ना लगे कि उनको छोड़ के जिसको ज़रूरत है आगे वाली ट्रीटमेंट की उसको दी जाएगी, जिसको यहाँ रखा जाएगा ताकि धक्के ना खाएं। इनको ये ना लगे रिश्तेदारों को इतने ट्रॉमा से गुजर रहे हैं कि इनके आसपास कोई है ही नहीं। तो हम सारी रात हम यहीं पे हैं मरीजों के साथ, जब तक एक उसको आइडेंटिफाई नहीं करवा लेते। कईयों को बॉडी चाहिए, कईयों को कुछ चाहिए। बड़ी हैरानी की बात है, बिकॉज इतना पुलिस प्रशासन था और इतना ऑर्गेनाइज था कि समझ ही नहीं आया। अब बता रहे हैं कि रेलवेज वाले ने ना तो ट्रेन आहिस्ता की और पता नहीं ये लोग ट्रैक पे खड़ के सेल्फियां ले रहे थे। समझ ही नहीं आई बात क्या हुआ, क्योंकि बड़े आराम से प्रोग्राम खत्म हुआ, गाड़ी में बैठे, मैं निकली, 15 मिनट बाद मुझे फोन आता है कि वहाँ पे मैडम ऐसा हो गया।
दूसरी पार्टी से एलिगेशन लगा रही, राजनीति कर रही है।
देखो, अगर इन पे राजनीति करने की जरूरत है, हर साल वहाँ पे दुशहरा होता है और इस पे हमने बिठाया उनको किसी को ट्रैक पे, या हमने ट्रेन उनके ऊपर चढ़ाई। हमारे इलाके के लोग हैं, हम मर रहे हैं उनके लिए, तड़फ रहे हैं, मेरा गला बैठ गया है ढूंढ ढूंढ के कि हम इनको बचाएं, कुछ इनका कर पाएं जैसे शुरू से करते हैं। ये उनको शोभा देता है। जब उनकी स्टेज लगती थी वहाँ पे, हर साल वहीं दुशहरा होता था ना, तो वहीं पे अकाली दल, वहीं पे सारे, वहीं पे दुशहरा मनाते थे। तो भगवान ना करे ऐसा इंसिडेंट कभी किसी के साथ ना हो। तो इस पे राजनीति सेकने वालों को शर्म आनी चाहिए।
तो रेलवे मुलाजिम पे कोई कार्रवाई की मांग करते हैं?
रेलवेज को एकदम फोन किया तो उन्होंने, कईयों ने तो कहा कि फाटक खुला था, और हर साल यहाँ पे एक वार्निंग होती है क्योंकि हमारा सारा इलाका रेलवेज के आसपास ही होता है। हमने 6 जगह आज रावण जलाए, तो सारे रेलवे का भी रेलवे ट्रैक के पास है, पर उनको बहुत जरूरी था कि आगे देना कि यहाँ पे कितना इंसिडेंट हो रहा है, वहाँ पे ट्रेन तो स्लो करें। मतलब ये तो कभी नहीं सुना कि फुल स्पीड पे ट्रेन निकल जाए, कोई बच्चा गलती से भाग सकता है। तो बहुत बड़ी रेलवेज की, ये लोग, आधे से लोग तो मेरी स्पीच सुन के हटे थे, इनको पता ही नहीं चला शॉक में क्या हुआ। जी मैंने अभी न्यूज में सुना है, आई थिंक कैप्टन साहब ने 5-5 लाख की अनाउंसमेंट की है उसके लिए। तो मैं डिटेल्स तो तभी जब सरकार की पूरी चिट्ठी आ जाए तभी बता सकती हूँ।
Right, that was Navjot Kaur Sidhu, Navjot Singh Sidhu's wife, the MLA, and the chief guest at the event. Very interesting statements coming in, not adding up at all. So here's the interesting thing. From what the police said, what the railways say, and what she says now, none of it is adding up. None of it matches. She was very obviously defending the organizers. It sounded almost that she was one of the organizers there. And she's now, also sort of defending the fact that people accused her of getting into a car and running away. She said that she had left before the incident happened. Is that possible?
It is completely impossible. And I'll tell you why. I'm astounded at the way politicians calibrate their responses even at a time of massive tragedy. And I'll tell you how. The visual on the screen, left of the screen right now, shows the train hitting people just when the Ravan goes up in flames.
Yes.
If she left 15 minutes before this happened, she left before the effigy was burnt. That's not how a chief guest behaves. Chief guests leave after the effigy, because the culmination of the event is the burning of the effigy.
And she would also, I mean, from what she was saying, have us believe, Vinay, that she, the event ended and she left, and perhaps she didn't hear that something had happened in that same crowd, but that's again impossible.
She's pleading ignorance of the incident, and she's claiming that she heard about it after she was far off from that place. And as I said, the conclusion of the event is only when the effigy goes up in flames. Even the Prime Minister, who was at the Ramlila Maidan today,
Yes.
Left the venue after the effigy went up in flames and not before that. So it's not possible that she left that venue as a chief guest before the effigy went up in flames. And this is obviously, I think, in response to the criticism that was coming in, that she fled the spot because
And showed
the crowd
up at the
was hostile.
hospital.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of insensitive, talk of money that's happening at this point. We saw the Chief Minister say two things. He said 5 lakh rupees for everyone who's died, and we'll look after the expenses of... It's almost like benevolent king sort of statements. That is not what we need right now, because the handling of this entire situation seems very, very wrong and very sloppy.
Very, very wrong. And just so that our viewers know, Navjot Kaur Sidhu is actually a doctor herself. She's an MBBS doctor. She was a health minister in the previous government when she was part of the BJP.
Excuse me.
And is a qualified doctor. She used to run a nursing home before she entered politics, and when Navjot Sidhu was actually a cricketer. So she understands healthcare better than other people.
Forgive me for interrupting you, but if you're looking at the screen right now, she's being followed by a sort of posse of her supporters or whoever they are. She's actually causing more confusion at that hospital than helping out. She said she's going to be here all night and she's going to make sure that everybody's looked after. I wonder if we can just listen in to that footage.
कोई कंट्रोल नहीं कुछ कंट्रोल नहीं आप कम से कम पुलिस का थाने वाले एक ही बात में आना होता कितनी पुलिस फोर्स लगाते हैं अगर पुलिस होती है रेलवे
Hospital is. these are very, very worrying visuals of the hospital that we have right now. We understand, and we saw Navjot Kaur Sidhu, who's the MLA of that constituency, was inside the hospital. This is her security detail, one would assume. They've completely blocked the routes. The doctors are actually standing in the corner there. Their space has completely been encroached upon. If this is the route in which emergency patients who are in desperate need of medical care are going to be brought in, and you can see that patients are being brought in, children are being brought in. If this is how this is being handled right now, there couldn't be a worse case of mishandling a situation. You can see that there's a guard with a gun. That is obviously a security detail. That is not officers who are there to help out.
Yeah, I mean, one small thing, she used to be an MLA from Amritsar East right now, but the larger, what astounds me, Faye, is this, that of all the people, of all the politicians, if there is one person who should understand what a hospital should be, it is Navjot Kaur Sidhu, because she's a doctor herself. She's been a health minister in that state. I saw at least 2 IG rank officers, 1 DIG rank officer, and a large number of inspectors standing there, simply because I'm assuming they weren't really exactly doing any crowd control. They were just standing in attention because a politician is there. And this is really, really surprising. I mean, this is the time when as a former health minister and as a doctor, she should have been telling everyone what the hospital needs currently, whether they need blood, whether they need medical supplies, whether they need additional beds. We haven't heard that from the Punjab government at all on what the hospital currently needs. Maybe they need volunteers to donate blood, maybe they need other facilities, maybe they need some essential medicines which may be in short supply. We haven't heard of that at all, and all she was speaking about was politics.
And you know, yes, that was very disheartening. She was talking about politics, and she said a very insensitive thing, Vinay. She said, how can the Akali Dal point fingers? They've had their, the Dussehra celebrations at the exact same ground. This could have happened to them as well.
Exactly.
And then she quickly rolled it back and said, not that I want this to have happened to anybody else. But she's been caught not just on the back foot here, she's been caught completely on the wrong side of the fence. And she's obviously saying and doing a lot of things to sort of save face at this point, but even now I believe she's doing more damage than good, because the visuals we just saw of that child being brought in on a stretcher, the police standing there are not standing there to clear the way or to make sure people get treated properly and on time. They're standing there to protect her, and they're in the way.
She was holding a meeting with the supporters or probably relatives in the middle of that ward.
Yes.
And that was only adding to the... This is not the time. I mean, she should actually get out of that place and stand somewhere else if she has to talk to some people. I mean, that's the worst place to stand in when a crisis of this level has actually happened.
And the number of people who were inside the hospital, a lot of them just sort of meandering about with nothing to do, just there to, watch and look. It's exactly this sort of crowd control that the police is expected to do. And there is enough police presence, but they're not doing anything. Terrible state of affairs in Punjab, terribly mishandled by the Punjab government.
Watch this on the right hand side. This is again a demonstrative act being done purely for the cameras. I wonder what benefit this is coming. Her act of trying to look as if she's listening to the patients, very worried about them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is being done for the camera. She knows there are cameras around, and she knows that it's being covered. Why would you do this to a person who's just been brought into a hospital?
Mm-hmm. And, sort of having some polite conversations with the family at this point. But if you'll just see in a minute, when she pulls out of, or she comes off away from that bed, and the family members who are standing around begin having a conversation with her about accountability, you'll see the number of people who have gathered around her. Some may be family members, others supporters, and her own security detail completely crowding that emergency room. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. And the worst part is that what they accuse another political formation of is exactly what they end up doing themselves. I mean, this is demonstrative politics at a very elevated level. I mean, look at the number of derelictions. First, you run as an elected representative or as a person who claims to represent people, you run away from a spot of tragedy. Then you try and cover it up by claiming that you actually did that 15 minutes ago, that you weren't aware of it. Then you land up in the middle of a government hospital, which is crowded and packed, and the doctors are stretched currently, trying to help and provide help and relief to family, holding up and blocking the police from performing its own function. And then doing these kind of demonstrative activities that you see right now on screen on your right, trying to talk to the patients and looking like you're giving them a patient hearing, simply because there are cameras around.
Well, this is from what we understand. We're being told right now the civil hospital in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. And you can see this visual right now is of outside, on the left of your screen, outside the hospital from where the emergency ambulances are coming in. like we showed you some time ago, inside the hospital, there's just pure chaos.
Pure chaos, and I can guarantee you, Faye, because the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar is an area which is accessible only through very narrow lanes. There aren't really many wide streets in that part, and I can be sure that outside the hospital there would be equal chaos in the streets as well. And you need police presence to regulate traffic, to maybe remove vehicles obstructing the way of ambulances, or even provide other kinds of support. It has very narrow accesses, that area. And I can guarantee that kind of chaos would be there even outside the hospital.
Well, the unfortunate part is that we don't have any official information just yet from the government. Normally at this point there is official information, people are speaking to the press, people are briefing the press, because for family members who live in other parts of the country, this tends to be the only route of information. But there's nothing coming out of the Chief Minister's office or the Home Secretary or anybody else about the number of casualties, about the evacuation that's happening on ground, about any of the other information, which hospitals are being put into use at this point, where should family members go if they need help. We haven't received any information from the Punjab police, and we're going to try and get in touch with journalists who will be able to do so. But here are some of the eyewitness accounts from the ground immediately after the accident had taken place. Take a look.
ट्रेन आई भाई उधरों अग साड़ी उन्होंने इधरों नहीं देने ट्रेन आई ट्रेन स्लो भी नहीं पूरी फास्ट हैगी कि ताकि तुम रेलवे वाले ने थोड़ा कह दो कि जो रामलीला आ रही है सड़ रहा है तुम थोड़ा स्लोली आयो पूरी फास्ट ट्रेन आई देखो जवान जवान बच्चों का बुरा हाल हो गया तो छोटे बच्चे कितने जाएंगे घट्टो घट 60-70 जाने कार्रवाई भाई इन्होंने पर्चा होना चाहिए ट्रेन वाले तो होना चाहिए जो करवा रहे उन्होंने होना चाहिए।
इस जगह पे मैं पिछले कई सालों से दशहरा करता आया हूँ। रेलवे को रिक्वेस्ट की जाती है कि रेल इधर से धीरे आए, जहाँ लोगों को थोड़ी देर के लिए उसको रोका जाए। बार बार इधर हम लोगों को इन्फॉर्म करते हैं, हमारी सिक्योरिटी प्राइवेट और पुलिस लगी होती है कि लोगों को पीछे करने के लिए। ऐसा मंजर ये जो यहाँ हुआ है, जिन लोगों इसके प्रबंधक हैं उन पे कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। इधर सबसे घिनौनी हरकत जो की है नवजोत कौर सिद्धू ने की है कि उसके सामने ये मंजर हुआ। ये इस हादसे के बाद अपनी गाड़ी में बैठी और अपने घर में चली गई, उस पे पर्चा दर्ज होना चाहिए।
ਸਾਡੇ ਦੋ ਭਰਾ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਹੱਲੇ ਦੋ ਤਿੰਨ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੀ ਧੌਣ ਵੱਡੀ ਗਈ ਆ, ਤੇ ਕੌਣ ਦੇਊਗਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ। ਗੱਡੀ ਉਧਰੋਂ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਡੀ ਆਈ ਅਰਮਾਨ ਨਾਲ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਧਰੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਆਈ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਤੇਜ਼ ਆਈ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਝੰਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਉਹਨੇ, ਉਹ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਆਈ, 40-45 ਬੰਦੇ ਡਾਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਗਈ, ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਭਰਾ ਨਾਲ ਭਤੀਜਾ ਕੋਲ ਤੋਂ ਸਭ ਡਾਕੇ ਗਾਂ ਗਈ ਜੇ।
In fact, the police spoke with the press some time ago and briefed the press, and this was a while ago. This was nearly an hour ago now, viewers, and since then we haven't heard any fresh information from the police, but this is the last soundbite that the police, or the last piece of information the police gave the press. Mr. Rajesh Bajpa, Information Commissioner of the Railways Ministry, has been patched on the phone line. Mr. Bajpa, thank you for speaking with us. Could you give us any information right now about this accident and about the number of people who might be injured?
Ma'am, this unfortunate incident happened near Amritsar station. This place was where the effigy of Ravana was burnt. It was around 150 to 300 meters away from the track. And the moment the effigy was burnt, people rushed towards the track. And unfortunately, a train which was passing at that time, they come in contact with that train and they died. So all people are being taken to the nearest hospital, Amritsar Hospital. Amritsar District Administration is with us. So we are taking care of all those who are injured.
Yes, Mr. Bajpa, there's been some conflicting reports about the speed at which that train was travelling at. Would you be able to confirm to us the speed at which that DMU train was moving at?
Ma'am, it's only everything will come out after the inquiry. We'll say what type of inputs we'll get from the local people. We'll say to it, but what is the scheduled speed there? Normally train runs on that speed only.
And was there any sort of warning issued to the people before the train came down that track if there was a large event being conducted right near the tracks? What is the procedural warning that is normally issued, Mr. Bajpai?
this all will come when we inquire what happened and what type of information we have got from the district administration, because normally district administration approaches for the thing. This issue will take up whenever the inquiry will happen, and right now we are taking care of all the injured and those who are died. We are taking care of their family. We are contacting and trying to get all sorts of possible relief. Our Minister of State for Railways, Manoj Sinha, is rushing towards the site. Chairman Railway is going. General Manager Northern Railway and all senior officers from Ferozpur division, they are also reaching site, because this is not a divisional headquarters. DRM sits at Ferozpur, so they are coming from Ferozpur, but the local officers are taking care and district administration is also taking care.
Mr. Vajpayee, you're a very seasoned and a senior railway official, and you would bear me out if I say that drivers of trains also use visual reference, and in case they spot people or a large gathering close to the track, they either slow the train down or they repeatedly use their horns. And nothing of that sort seems to have happened in this case. The train was going at the normal speed at which it usually passes this sector.
I am not aware what happened today, because it all will come out after the inquiry. But normally when there is a level crossing or where there is a thing, whistling is being done. And then there is I was told there is a curvature also there, and the people, this Ravana effigy was away from the track. So everything will come out during the inquiry. We'll investigate from all angles and we'll let you know.
Mr. Vajpayee, this particular place where the effigy was being burnt, was this railway land or was this the district administration land?
And that I am not aware. That I have to find out.
All right, Mr.
But
Vajpayee.
normally the distance away from railway line 300 meter or 200. This is not a railway line. Normally we take some strip, and after railway line there is a district administration land or a private land. So that has to be seen, because this distance is quite far out from the track. It's not very close to the track where the effigy of Ravana is being burnt.
All right, Rajesh Vajpayee from the Railways Ministry, thank you for speaking with us. Again, Vinay, we find ourselves in a position of a complete lack of information. Unfortunately, there isn't too much information coming out. I'm going to play out the last piece of official information we received, and this was from the police.
See, exact figure is not known. We are still in the process of evacuation, but it is definitely more than 50 to 60, more than that.
That was a comment from the police. For our viewers who are just joining us, a terrible, horrible train-related tragedy really has occurred in Amritsar, where you can see the visual on your screen, and this is what happened. And we will show you the visual. We will show you two videos. Video number one, or the first angle you can see, is at a distance from what happened. And while the effigy was being burnt and the crackers were going off, we understand people backed away from the effigy and onto the tracks, and you can see a train just mowing through that crowd, cutting through the crowd. Several people injured, decapitated in some cases. At least 50 is what we're getting. There seems to be some more commotion coming in from that hospital, from the live visuals that we're getting at this point. Also worrying that the press is being allowed, or camera people are being allowed to walk through the hospital. There doesn't seem to be any security. People are being allowed to go through the hospital. The last official voice we've heard, and you can see that camera person now going even further into the hospital. The last piece of information we heard, we know that at least 50 people have died so far. We don't know how many are injured. The Chief Minister has announced, compensation of 5 lakh to every family who's lost a loved one, and free treatment for anyone who has been injured. But there are a lot of details from what we're picking up right now that simply don't add up in terms of the information of how this accident occurred, what exactly happened, who organized this event, and did that person get permission? Is it okay to have this event so close to a railway track that's completely unguarded? And by unguarded, there's no fence, there's nothing that separates the tracks from the ground, and the ground apparently runs alongside the tracks. And that's angle number 2. You can see people didn't realize that the train had come that close, or that the train was coming onto that tracks until the very last moment. And that's what we can see in this visual, in this angle. And we understand from some eyewitnesses that the sound that the crackers were making and the burning sort of masked the sound of the train, and maybe even the horn, and that's why people didn't realize that the train was coming down the track. So questions that arise at this point are these: why was the train moving so fast? Should it have slowed down? Should it have either stopped or sounded its horn or alerted people one way or the other? The second question that we must ask is who granted permission to the organizers of this event? We understand that Navjot Kaur Sidhu, the wife of Navjot Singh Sidhu, was chief guest at the event. The third question we have to ask is Navjot Kaur Sidhu says she left 15 minutes before the accident actually happened, but the visual shows us that the effigy is still being burnt. Was she at that event? If she was, then police would have accompanied her, given that she, yes.
और आज के दिन पे जबकि ये दशहरा की सेलिब्रेशन पूरे भारतवर्ष में मनाई जा रही हैं, ऐसे वक्त पे ऐसा हादसा बहुत ही दुख की घड़ी है हम सब के लिए और पर्टिकुलरली उन लोगों के लिए जिनके साथ ये हादसा हुआ है। इसमें ये करीब 6:30 के आसपास की घटना है जब ये सेलिब्रेशन हो रहा था। ये लोकेशन एग्जैक्टली अमृतसर और मानावाला एक स्टेशन है, उसके बीच में एक गेट नंबर 27 है। उस गेट से करीब 70-80 मीटर दूर ये सेलिब्रेशन चल रहा था। ये नॉर्मल सेलिब्रेशन है जहाँ पे रावण दहन की घटना हो रहा था और उस पे ये कहा गया है कि जब ये रावण दहन हुआ और पुतला नीचे गिरा और उसमें बहुत पटाखे जो चल रहे थे, उसकी हड़बड़ी में लोग जो है वो ट्रैक की तरफ बढ़े और क्योंकि लेवल क्रॉसिंग गेट ट्रैक से उस साइड से बहुत ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है, तो उस हड़बड़ी में बहुत लोग जो है कि वो ट्रैक के ऊपर आ गए। उसी वक्त जबकि एक ट्रेन निकल रही है जो कि जलंधर से अमृतसर आती है, ये DMU ट्रेन है और ये ट्रेन पास करने के लिए इसमें एक लेवल क्रॉसिंग गेट है जो कि बंद कर दिया गया था। इसका मतलब ये है कि रेलवे ने पूरा एहतियात लिया था कि ये गेट बंद रहे और जब ये ट्रेन निकले तो ये गेट बंद हो ताकि किसी भी तरह का नुकसान ना हो सके। चूँकि ये घटना दूसरी तरफ हुई है जहाँ पे पुतला जब नीचे गिरा, पटाखे चले और उसकी आवाज़ से डर के कुछ हड़बड़ी में लोग जो है उस तरफ ट्रैक की तरफ बढ़े हैं, जिसमें ये हादसा हुआ। इसमें लोगों के ज़ख्मी होने की और कुछ जो है वो कैजुअल्टी की भी आशंका है उसमें। और जो अभी इनिशियली इन्फॉर्मेशन जो मेरे पास आधा घंटा पहले आई थी उसमें से करीब 30-35 लोग इंजर्ड थे और भी इसको बढ़ने की उम्मीद है इसमें। और इसमें मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि रेलवे ने अपना मेडिकल वाहन वहाँ पे पहुँचाया है और इसके अलावा डॉक्टर्स की टीम वहाँ पहुँची हुई है, रेलवे के अधिकारी वहाँ पहुँचे हुए हैं और अभी जो है वो नॉर्दर्न रेलवे के अधिकारी, जनरल मैनेजर और सीनियर ऑफिसर्स यहाँ से जा रहे हैं। चेयरमैन रेलवे बोर्ड भी यहाँ से जाएंगे और उसके अलावा मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट के जाने की भी खबर है वहाँ पे अमृतसर पहुँचने की। और जो पैसेंजर हैं, जो लोग इंजर्ड हैं, उनको भी हम हॉस्पिटल में पहुँचा रहे हैं। डॉक्टर की टीम वहाँ पे भी है, स्टेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन भी इसको रिलीफ में लगी हुई है।
सर, ऐसी खबर है कि एक ही समय ट्रैक पे 2 ट्रेनें 2 दिशा से आ गई थी और इसकी वजह से भी हादसा हुआ है।
नहीं, मैंने अभी जो आधा घंटा पहले बात की है वहाँ पे जो हमारे ऑपरेशंस के इंचार्ज हैं फिरोजपुर डिवीज़न में, उन्होंने मुझे बोला है कि एक ही ट्रेन थी जो DMU थी, जो कि मानावाला से करीब 6:30 के आसपास निकली है और अमृतसर आ रही थी और उन्होंने एक ही ट्रेन का मुझे बताया।
हेल्पलाइन नंबर वगैरह इशू कर दिए गए?
हेल्पलाइन नंबर हम इशू कर दिए हैं और भी कर रहे हैं। जैसे जैसे हेल्पलाइन नंबर अमृतसर, जलंधर और सेंट्रल कंट्रोल में, दूसरे कंट्रोल में जो खोल रहे हैं, हम लोग उनको आपको जानकारी देते रहेंगे।
Well, that was Deepak Kumar, CPRO of the Railways, who very clear, he said a couple of things that he said. 35 people have been injured and that number is likely to go up even further. And he reiterated that the gate was closed, but people bridged that gate for whatever reason. But Anjan Deveshwar is on the phone line right now. We understand he is an eyewitness to what happened. अंजन जी, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद। क्या आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि आपने क्या देखा आज रात को?
Ma'am, actually people were watching the Dussehra ceremony where we burnt effigy of Ravana. So yes, it's not that what he's saying that people ran away because of some stampede or something. It's not like that. What he's telling is a lie. People were very much present on the track since the ground is very small. So people were watching it from the track and they do it every year. So it is the complete failure of administration that they allow people to watch this thing from the track. and nothing such happened. Only thing, because of the crackers, people cannot hear the approaching train. That's why they are killed. And I don't know how driver missed them. Because maybe this train it was at high speed. That's why I think driver couldn't control.
Anjanji, we just heard the CPRO Railways Deepak Kumar say the gate between the tracks and the field was closed, and the railways had taken all precautions. Did you see a closed gate?
Gate is only for crossing the vehicle, but all along there is no gate, there is no boundary line, and that stage, it is hardly 6 feet or 7 feet. Even if the stage is small, that ground is small, people they jump this side and they go little away, and from the track they watch this, because Ravana is at very high height. So what they are telling their husband is wrong. People were watching from the track itself, and it happens every year. This is like eye wash, and they are trying to save themselves. This explanation given by railway is 100% wrong.
Anjan Deveshwar, tell us this. What is the terrain on this grounds or this field where the event was being held? Is it a flat ground where you can see across it? Could the train driver be able to see the people gathered on the tracks? Do you think? Is it flat enough for him to be able to see that?
Yes. That ground, if you compare with the railway track, it is hardly 6 feet above, 6 or 7 feet above, like my height. So if you go little back, and I have counted the steps, it takes 17 steps for me to reach from the end of the ground to the railway track. So what he's telling is completely wrong. It's not because of any stampede or anything. People were very much present, and they were watching the Dussehra from the track itself. And it is failure of coordination between the administration, although it was a high-profile program.
Anjanji, could you tell us who organized this event? Whose event was this?
Ma'am, this is organized by the local committee, but main thing is the chief guest was Mrs. Navjot Singh Sidhu. She herself is a minister, and that is the main thing. So that means it was a high-profile program, and permission was sought from the administration. So it was like administration's responsibility to make sure that people are not there on the track. If they were on the track, they should have coordinated with it with the railways. So it is very disheartening. Human life of a common man is very cheap in India.
Is this, Anjanji, is this a very crowded area, and was there police presence during the event? Was there any bandobast during the event?
Ma'am, they were there, but they were on the stage. They were all in the service of the ministers. On the stage, on the ground, where ministers were there. No one was available near the track.
And what was the reaction of the dignitaries as soon as this event, I beg your pardon, accident took place?
Ma'am, Navjot Singh Sidhu's wife, she ran away. So, like local people, they were very angry. The posters and all that, they were tearing the posters, and they were shouting slogans against Navjot Singh Sidhu and his wife. So they are feeling like cheated because she ran away. Now no one is there except for railway authorities and police.
Anjanji, are you still on that ground? Are you still on the location?
I am like 100 meters away from the location.
100 meters away. And has everyone who was injured been evacuated and taken to a hospital from there now?
Yes, ma'am. Now here I don't see any rescue operation going on. Just the people, group of people, it is there. They have crowded the full railway crossing, and because of that, I don't think any train can pass from here. The signals are red, and they have called for Band. I think tomorrow, local people, they have called Band for tomorrow.
And Anjanji, are the people still angry? Is that why they have gathered there? What is the mood among the crowd that's still at the location of the accident?
They are sitting on dharna. It's like they are sitting on dharna. They are protesting, and although they are peaceful, and but it is like a protest. That's what a common man can do. And there are also relatives of the victims or the deceased people, those who are killed. So you can see people crying, and still some people, they are trying to search the bodies and all that. When I went, some bodies were lying on the track, and it was pathetic.
And Anshuji, have you received information, you're at the grounds right now, about helplines that the government has set up, any sort of route in which people who are looking for their loved ones can get in touch?
Yes, ma'am, but helplines and all, they are not going to help, because these people are local people and everyone knows their relatives were there. It is not a like typical train accident from people from all over India are involved. These were local people, and almost all of them have been traced by the relatives.
Right, there are a couple of helpline numbers that have now come up, and we're going to put them up on our screen. I do understand there's a helpline number of the railway station, 73325, and this is the railway station helpline. Do you have any questions for the eyewitness?
No, Deveshwar Saab, the only question we wanted to ask you was, this particular area where this event is held, is it a very crowded, generally crowded area or generally inhabited area? There is a reason why we are asking, because if this area is largely crowded at all times of the year, a lot of people use it or cross it, the railway's response to the speed limits and other safety mechanisms would have been different. And that's why it's important to know, normally, not on Dussehra day today, but generally, does this place remain crowded?
It is a typical railway crossing. It has 2 pair of gates. So definitely this is a very risky crossing, and all the trains, definitely they should go dead slow from here. It is a very, because I have never seen any such dual gates, 2 pair of gates in India. I have only seen 1 pair of gates. That's why this is known as Judwa Phatak. That is means twin gates. So it makes even more this thing clear that it is a left from the administration side. How a train can go at high speed even in normal days.
Anjuji, forgive me for asking this question, but you did say that this happens every year. People stand on the tracks and watch the effigy being burned, watch the Dussehra celebrations. So obviously in the past trains were stopped or trains were asked to slow down. How was this handled in other instances in previous years?
Actually, I have never heard anything like something of this sort happened previously. But this year, I don't know. But it is like shocking that the train did slow down in spite of this being a pair of 2 gates.
Yes. And a very quick question to you. I hope all of your loved ones are okay. Have you managed to get everybody safely back in their homes?
Luckily, from my home, no one went there. Actually, this is a local district, and we go there. Actually, I am from Delhi. I came to visit. I attended a marriage, and luckily, from my home, we were busy in marriage, so we didn't go. Otherwise, it could have been one of us.
Yes. So, Mr. Anjan Deveshwar, as an eyewitness, I'm very glad to hear that your family members are okay and everyone is safe. There are helplines at the bottom of your screen for people who are trying to reach your loved ones in Amritsar or trying to find out if someone is okay. These are the helplines that the government has given us. They're at the bottom of the screen right now, and we'll keep that on the screen for long enough to be able to write it down. This is the information that we have right now. Terribly disturbing visuals. We do know that this is what has been told to us. 35 people have been injured, maybe more. 50 people confirmed dead so far. Completely unexplained accident, perhaps one of the worst we've seen in recent years.
Worst, and especially in the circumstances in which it happened. And I think the eyewitness we just spoke to was one remarkably eloquent. I think he explained things very calmly, something which the administration has not been able to tell us. And there are certain details that he has mentioned which are extremely important. One of the details that he's mentioned is that this particular crossing had a double gate, which obviously means that this was a level crossing which was very crowded and had a large amount of traffic. Now, the railway authorities, for some reason, are insisting repeatedly that the gates were closed, which is not the question here at all, because the railway gates are pretty much to ensure access control for vehicular traffic and not for people crossing over from a Maidan. The bigger question now, Faye, and I am presuming that when the railways hold an inquiry, which will become a big part of that, is this.
Yes. Vinay, forgive me for interrupting you, but I understand that Arun Jaitley, Minister of Finance, is making a statement.
जिला प्रशासन और राज्य सरकार मिलकर जिन लोगों को जान का, माल का और नुकसान हुआ है, जिनको चोटें लगी हैं, सबको मेडिकल सहायता, रिलीफ इस वक्त उपलब्ध करवाएं। और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि सभी एजेंसीज करवाएंगी। मैंने अभी जो रेलवे राज्य मंत्री हैं श्री मनोज सिन्हा, उनसे बात की है, वो तुरंत वहां पहुंच जाएंगे, उन्होंने कहा। और राज्य सरकार के अधिकारी और कई नेता भी वहां पहुंचे हैं और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि अगले कुछ घंटों में पूरा प्रयास किया जाएगा दोनों तरफ से कि जिन लोगों का नुकसान हुआ है, चोटें लगी हैं, उनको अधिक से अधिक रिलीफ उपलब्ध करवाया जाए। जिन लोगों की जान गई है, मैं उनके परिवारों को बहुत बहुत शोक प्रकट करता हूं और इस ट्रेजेडी से पूरा देश बहुत दुखी और परेशान है। त्योहार के दिन जो मासूम लोग दशहरा मनाने वास्ते अमृतसर इकट्ठे हुए सन, खुद एक बड़ी वड्डी ट्रेजेडी का शिकार बन गए। बहुत अधिक मात्रा लोगों की जान भी गई है और बड़ियां नूं सट भी लगी है, चोट भी लगी है। यह मौका होवे कि जिथे राज्य सरकार के सारे अधिकारी, पूरी राज्य सरकार, जिला प्रशासन, रेलवेज और केंद्र सरकार की सभी एजेंसीज मिलके जिन्हां नूं सहायता और रिलीफ चाहिए है, मेडिकल मदद चाहिए है, पूरी तुरंत मेडिकल मदद उपलब्ध करान ताकि जिन्हां नूं बचाया जा सकता है और जिन्हां दा दुख दर्द दूर किया जा सकता है, वो करन दी कोशिश करन। मैं अपने वालों बहुत ही दुख प्रकट करना जिन्हां दी जान गई है, जिन्हां नूं चोट लगी है, और उन्हां दे परिवारां नूं अपनी वालों बहुत बहुत शोक प्रकट करना। इस दुख की घड़ी च पूरा देश उन्हां दे नाल खड़ा है। वो ट्रेजेडी है जिन्हों रोकया जा सकता सी, लेकिन वो विषय अपने आप वो तहकीकात होंगे। इस वेले सब नूं पूरा प्रयास करके हर व्यक्ति जिन्हों आवश्यकता है उसकी मदद करनी चाहिए।
In fact, we have Ranjit Kumar, is a journalist in Amritsar, on the phone line with us right now. Ranjit Kumar, thank you for joining us. I trust that you and your family members are okay, but if you could give us an update of what you are picking up on the ground from officials in terms of the toll of injury and death from this accident?
यस मैम, यहाँ पर जो अभी तक कैजुअलिटीज हुई है, लोग 50 के करीब अभी तक जो आवाज आई है कि 50 के करीब लोग मारे जा चुके हैं और नियर अबाउट इतने ही लोग और सीरियस कंडीशन में हैं और उनको जो स्थानीय हॉस्पिटल है वहाँ पर एडमिट करवाया गया है।
और क्या आपको पता, किसी ने बताया अभी तक कि ये एक्सीडेंट कैसे हुई थी, किसकी लापरवाही से हुई थी? रंजीत जी,
एक्चुअली मैम यहाँ पर जो प्रोग्राम करवाया जा रहा था वो यहाँ पर जो पंजाब के लोकल बॉडी मिनिस्टर नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू, उनकी मिसिज एज ए चीफ गेस्ट यहाँ पर प्रोग्राम में थी और ये काउंसलर है यहाँ पर, उन्होंने यहाँ पर प्रोग्राम करवाया था। और इस प्रोग्राम को करवाने के दौरान जब बिल्कुल रेलवे लाइन के पास ही ये प्रोग्राम हो रहा था और जो रेलवे क्रॉसिंग यहाँ पर एक जोड़ा फाटक है और हर साल ही वहाँ पर प्रोग्राम होता है और प्रोग्राम के दौरान जब रावण बहुत तेज जला है तो लोग ट्रैक पर ही खड़े होकर वो सारा दशहरा दर्शन देख रहे थे और एक एट ए टाइम जो जलंधर फिरोजपुर जो ट्रेन थी वहां से गुजरी है और उसने इस बड़ी घटना को अंजाम दिया है।
और रंजीत जी, क्या आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि अस्पताल में सबको अभी केयर मिल रहा है? सबको is everybody receiving the care that they need? Are the hospitals overcrowded? Are there enough doctors on duty?
या पंजाब गवर्नमेंट की ओर से इमरजेंसी घोषित कर दी गई है और जो मेडिकल फैसिलिटी है यहाँ पर जो लोकल हॉस्पिटल्स हैं उनमें उनको एडमिट करवाया जा रहा है, जैसे गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल, इवन प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स में भी उनको एडमिट करवाया जा रहा है ताकि फर्स्ट एड देकर उनका जो ट्रीटमेंट है वो प्रायोरिटी पर किया जा सके। और गवर्नमेंट ने ये अनाउंस कर दिया है कि जितना भी खर्चा होगा वो सारा, चाहे प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हो चाहे गवर्नमेंट, सारा खर्चा वो गवर्नमेंट करेगी। पंजाब के जो सीएम है उन्होंने पर जिनके घर में कैजुअलिटी है 5-5 लाख रुपए उनको एज ए मुआवजे के तौर पर देने की घोषणा कर दी गई है।
जी
रंजीत, ये आप उस इलाके के हैं, ये लोग कह रहे हैं वहां के लोकल्स की ये हर साल दशहरा का सेलिब्रेशन इसी जगह पे होता था। इस साल क्या अलग क्या था? क्या लोग ज्यादा थे, भीड़ ज्यादा थी, या पिछले सालों में भीड़ कम होती थी और ट्रेन तो उस वक्त भी वहां से पास होती होंगी? इस साल ऐसा क्या हुआ कि भीड़ ज्यादा थी, या कोई ट्रेन की या रेलवे अथॉरिटीज की गलती रही कि ट्रेन की स्पीड कम नहीं थी? आपके हिसाब से क्या गड़बड़ हुआ वहां पे आज?
सर, जैसा मौके पर देखा गया कि इस साल कंपैरेटिवली पिछले साल से भीड़ ज्यादा थी और काफी, क्योंकि बहुत बड़ा आयोजन यहाँ पर किया जाता है और काफी दूर दराज से लोग यहाँ पर इकट्ठे होते हैं। नियर अबाउट कोई 10-12 हजार लोग यहाँ पर प्रोग्राम देखने के लिए पहुंचे होंगे। और जो ट्रेन थी, ट्रेन की स्पीड भी आज ज्यादा थी और ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे रेलवे प्रशासन को इस प्रोग्राम के बारे में जानकारी थी ही नहीं, तो तभी ये इतना बड़ा हादसा हो गया। जी सर।
और ये जो अस्पताल वगैरह हैं वहां पर, हादसे की लोकेशन से, घटना से कितनी दूर है, और आपके हिसाब से क्या वो सक्षम हैं इन सारे घायलों को मदद पहुंचाने के लिए?
जी सर, जो गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल से इससे डिस्टेंस कोई नियर अबाउट 7-8 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर थे, लेकिन उसके साथ जो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स हैं उनमें भी उनको जो नियर है, पास में है, वहां पर उनको एडमिट करवाया गया है और सफिशिएंट फैसिलिटीज यहाँ पर इनको दी जा रही हैं प्रॉपर। जी
ओके, रंजीत कुमार जी हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। वी आर गोइंग टू हैव टू टेक अ वेरी क्विक ब्रेक हियर एंड वी विल कंटिन्यू विद लाइव अपडेट्स ऑफ व्हाट्स हैपनिंग इन अमृतसर ऑन दिस टेरिबली ट्रैजिक इवनिंग in Amritsar in Punjab. Don't go anywhere.